if you ask most kids these days what they want to be when they grow up, chances are they're not going to say a farmer. Yet a century ago, nearly half of American workers were farmers. These days, it's more like 1%. Early show contributor Taryn Winter Brill has a look, though, at one effort to help find the next generation of farmers and a great way to spend a summer. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Very exciting. Good morning to you, Erica. Well, according to one study, an average child can identify more than 1,000 corporate labels, but only 10 plants and animals in his or her own backyard. So how do you deal with that lack of knowledge? Well, some kids get to go to farm camp.
You want to be really nice to the chickens and respectful.
On a sun-drenched farm, just 25 minutes north of New York City, there are plenty of discoveries to be made.
Feels kind of warm.
Stone Barn Center for Food and Agriculture opened its gates back in 2004.
Why does the chicken want to lay eggs? What do you think?
And it took less than a year for its educational staff to hatch the idea of farm camp.
You guys down there doing okay? You want some more seed?
Campers spend a minimum of a week exploring all of the facets of a working farm. Collecting eggs, picking raspberries, even seeding a pig pen.
For many of these children, this might be the first time that they get to spend 1 week or 2 weeks outdoors for 6 hours. I mean, that's a wonderful thing.
Do they ask for more?
Yes, they do. They can't get enough.
There's lots of surprises here.
These kids are part of the so-called nature deficit generation, and they spend half as much time outdoors as children 20 years ago. On average, they spend about 6 hours in front of computer and TV screens and less than 4 minutes engaged in unstructured outdoor play per day.
Our children today are living lifestyles that are overwhelmingly indoors and sedentary.
The 20th century population shift from rural to urban areas has literally changed the nature of childhood. In the year 1900, 40% of the population lived in cities. By 2010, that percentage had doubled. The face of the American farming community has also drastically changed. Back in 1880, 50% of the U.S. workforce were farmers. Today, it's just 2%, and the average age of these 2 million remaining farmers is 60.
You're going to look for the ones that really turn right.
Farm Camp is designed to connect young people with nature.
Did you think this is how raspberries grew?
No.
Are you surprised?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I thought they grew on a tree.
Next time they eat a raspberry or they eat fruit, they'll remember these plants. It changes your perception of quality.
So those raspberries the kids picked earlier could be on the dessert menu?
Yeah, and would be, particularly something like raspberries.
Stone Barns is home to Blue Hill, a world-renowned restaurant whose farm-to-table philosophy inspired First Lady Michelle Obama to choose it as the site to launch her Let's Move campaign to end childhood obesity.
I mean, they may not use their math later, but they're all going to eat. So having some basic knowledge about how the food system works and where food comes from, and getting beyond the idea that it's just the shopping cart and mom and the car and then all this food comes from one big store down the street is really important.
So do you guys think you're going to continue healthy eating habits?
Yeah.
Why?
Now I know what I'm eating.
It's an idea that seems to be catching on. 83% of camps across the country have added gardening activities in the past 5 years. 19% have added farming and ranching.
When they actually get their hands dirty and they help pull a carrot or harvest a tomato, they get inspired to try new things.
But the bigger goal of these programs goes beyond the summer experience.
These young people are going to be the inheritors of our earth, and they're going to be the drivers to shape change and sustainability as we move forward.
Come over here with me, guys, and we'll take a look.
For these campers, though, there's nothing more important than having a good time. And that's exactly what camp should be.
Who wants to get in there and roll around with the pigs?
Me.
Yeah? If you could, would you?
Yes.
All right. I did too. Looked like a lot of fun, those pigs. Well, incidentally, a week at Stone Barns Camp costs $400, but about 10% of the campers actually get scholarships. We also should mention that city kids can connect with nature as well. For example, 30% of New York City is green space, so you don't have to go very far, Erica, if you are in an urban area. It's just a matter of seeking it out.
And New York in particular does a great job with their parks and with, great excuses for kids to get out and do things.
They do.
Over the summer. Great story, though. I love it.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
I'm going to note that. Send my kids there when they get a little older.
Please do.